Hello, and welcome to the 10th episode of the Kamen Rider Spirit Podcast. I'm Zach.
And I'm Tay.
And I'm Eric.
And today we're going to be talking about episode 30 and 31 of the Kamen Rider Wizard series and everything. It's going to be great, because these episodes are really fucking radical.
Hey, that's your name.
Yeah, it is. I've been using the word radical a whole lot more often, and I don't know why I haven't before.
Because your name is Rad.
It is. But, I want to say sorry that we've, had so little episodes come out recently, but, trust me, things are going to be coming back to their normal setup pretty soon. Seeing as we didn't have much response as far as, how the April Fool's episode might have come out or anything like that. We're probably just going to wait until next year to put it out, unfortunately, but that always just means that we'll get to, make it a bit better by next year.
Yeah.
But yes, I think that we can start on episode 30. So, the episode opens up with Gremlin, seeing, this one, phantom all tied up in chains and everything, calling him Naito. His real phantom name is Legion, and Gremlin uses his big, weird scissor sword things to, cut open the chains and let Legion loose. Legion goes ahead and goes fucking crazy from that point on, and just tries to attack Gremlin even though he just let him loose. Wiseman and Medusa find the broken chains and are pretty not happy that Legion is now loose. Wiseman sends Medusa to go get him back, or at least stop him from killing humans randomly, because they need them for gates and whatnot. It turns out that Naito is kind of a lot like Phoenix in that he doesn't really care about gates at all. Yeah, he's just kind of like, these guys are beautiful, I want to kill them. So
yeah.
He has this whole weird beauty fetish thing. It's so odd and creepy. But we go and see that Haruto and the gang are pretty much hanging out with Rinko, who is eating donuts really fast because she's been dealing with a rash of cereal comas. I don't really know how that's a thing, but a rash of cereal comas around the area, and is being called to work over and over and hasn't eaten anything in a day and hasn't slept in 2 days. She's a mess. They find out that they figure that it was probably a phantom, but they don't really understand why a phantom would just cause people to go into comas. But then they see this little girl who needs to be entertained and everything because her brother is bad at magic, and Wizard decides to use real magic to show the little girl magic and everything and levitate stuff, because fuck secret identities.
Yeah.
That's one thing that I feel is really a thing that started really recently, is that they just don't care who sees them at all.
Yeah. It reminds me of that one moment where, this is totally appropriate, but where Ryusei and Gran Turo are about to fight the 7 Zodiarts.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, they're dummy Zodiarts, so we can just transform. Yeah, let's just do that, man. And it's if they were near someone that would spot them, would they not transform?
Ryusei probably wouldn't for weird reasons, but I actually no. At that point, I don't know why Ryusei wouldn't just transform normally, because wasn't Tachibana like dead at that point? I
Yes.
could have sworn. So I don't really understand that.
After Tachibana did he still start hiding? I don't remember.
No, I think that he
No,
just stopped
transformed
caring.
Gentaro.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he stopped caring after.
I think that movie came out at the point where like him and Gentaro are friends and they're okay with that. So that like he didn't care.
Gentaro never cared about people seeing him transform. He just didn't give a shit.
Yeah.
I can't say what happened in Decade because I have never seen it, but like from Double and on, they really didn't care.
Double sort of
Okay.
cared because he was a detective and whatnot,
was.
but
No, if you watch the episodes, like he like transformed in front of like a shit ton of people, and I'm just like, okay.
somehow he still had a secret identity, though. They still, like, all the
Yeah.
police still didn't know who W was, so...
Did they? I don't
Yeah.
remember.
They, like, there was a whole episode where they thought that, the local Kamen Rider was attacking people when it was really just a dopant and everything, the
Yeah, the dopant.
weapons dopant.
Yeah.
And...
You know what, that episode, I'm gonna go really off for a second, but that episode was kind of like, what? Because that looked nothing like Double.
it looked
they
nothing
probably
like
do
him.
It was still like a masked thing, you know.
Yeah.
Like it was like sort of Kamen Rider-ish, but
It
really it
didn't-
was still a
It
dopant.
looked Kamen Rider-ish though, that's the thing, like it didn't have like, it looked like a dopant, but like a little bit different, but it's still, like it looked, like to me Nazca looked more like a rider
Kamen?
kind
Oh,
of
definitely.
than the dopant. So, and then everyone was like, I guess it's Kamen, the Kamen Rider, and I'm just like, what?
He had a motorcycle. That
Yeah,
I don't
He had a
know.
motorcycle, and he was doing crap to scare people. He was like, "You better call me a Kamen Rider and tell them that I'm doing this to other people." And I think that's
guess,
like
but
why.
I don't
I
know.
just got confused at the episode because it was like,
Yeah.
but there's only one or two, and like they don't look anything like that.
But the end of that episode was pretty darn cool. I mean, I like that.
Oh yeah, it was a pretty awesome episode to be honest, but like it was a little weird because they still like it didn't really make sense that they wouldn't know who the
Yeah.
Kamen Rider of the time was. Like they're not exactly super secretive about it, but no one really knew who they were.
Well,
Yeah.
actually, and didn't Eiji not care? But then like Chiyoko or whoever the girl who owned the diner still had no idea, but everyone knew.
Everyone else knew except for Chiyoko, yeah. But like they purposely tried to keep it secret from her for some reason. And I don't know why.
I never understood why. Like, I don't think it really seemed like she wouldn't care if she knew.
Oh, she wouldn't give a damn. When she found out, she still didn't give a damn.
Did she end up finding out? I don't
Yeah,
remember.
she found out kind of near the end of the series. She was just like, oh, whatever,
Yeah,
okay.
I think so. I haven't seen O in a while, so I don't remember. But yeah. But that for the longest time, I was just like, wait, why are they... Because I remember one really funny scene where they, like, hid in the bed from her. Do you remember that? Where, like,
Yeah.
Goto, Date, and Eiji were all, like, in the bed together? Like,
Yeah.
So I was really confused. I'm like, wait, why are they trying to hide this from her? I'm really... Whatever.
it was like the whole deal with secret identities in Kamen Rider is a little bit muddled because like they don't care sometimes when it comes to people that are close to you. They really do care, but isn't that how secret secret identities are supposed to work, like backwards from that?
Yeah, but I'm gonna bring up Decade. Decade goes to different worlds. He just does that. So when he doesn't tell anyone until like a specific moment, like in when he goes to Kyuga's world, they find out where what are they called? The enemies.
Grongi.
The Grongi are. There's a Grongi sighting,
Wait,
and he comes there. He's like,
Kiva's world?
Wait, did you said Kiva or Kuga?
Kuga. I'm
Kiva.
sorry.
Kiva is Fangire.
Yeah, but he said
Yeah,
Kuga.
yeah. Oh, I know.
Oh, you said
but,
Kuga?
like,
I thought you said
Kuga.
Kiva. I was
Yeah.
really confused.
Too
Kuga,
many
you don't know.
Ks.
Yeah. But yeah, he just tries like, oh, you're a monster. I guess I'll transform. And it's like, oh man, you're a Kamen Rider. He's like, yeah, I am. And then he'll do that in every other series. Like when he goes in the Blade, they're like, ah, man, we could use some you could use some health. And then Tsukasa just shows up and he's like, oh, you guys need some help? Sure. And he transforms into DK and then Yuki. And it's like, fuck. like he just it doesn't matter when it's someone you don't know. I guess for Kamen Rider, like if you're a completely new person, you just.
I don't know if like because that didn't make sense in a way to me because wasn't Decade like labeled as the destroyer of worlds?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, like half the time he didn't.
Like why would you transform in front of other Kamen Riders?
He was. I'm guessing he was like, you know, I hope that Blade isn't gonna be an asshole. And he's gonna think I'm the Devil Rider again. And turns out Blade did think he was a devil again. Like
when someone is spreading around throughout the whole universe that there is a rider, I think you should try keeping an identity.
You think Tsukasa would keep it a low down profile, but no.
Well, usually whenever he huh?
What? I said this is Decade, that there's a lot of things that went wrong.
Well, like usually when it comes to Decade, he usually, if he does transform in front of somebody that is also a rider, they're like, holy shit, it's that guy that's gonna kill everyone. And then they try and fight him, and that's kind of like how it always ends up. And then, like, the people that try and fight him always lose because it's Decade and he's overpowered, I guess.
I can't really remember if that was the same case in Kabuto, but I'm pretty much almost every Rider World it was like that.
Yeah, but
Tendo kept an identity for a decent amount of time. I think so, and then Ryuki, he definitely kept an identity, except for like the fellow other riders. But like in that series was like the one series that I can pretty much remember that they kept their identities, so like no one outside I think knew, except for like the other riders between themselves and one girl, because she was somehow like, you'll see when you watch Ryuki, but like pretty much that was like an identity thing. It's like no one knew except like between the other like 13 riders, like they would find out, and like this one girl who was a part of it.
Who was in on it? Yeah.
Yeah, it was
okay. So.
But yeah.
We should get off the topic of secret identities and get back to Wizard.
Okay, yeah.
I totally forgot about that.
Sorry, like, that was just something that probably needed to be brought up. Anyways, Nito is wandering around and being a hobo like he usually does, and runs into Legion cutting down this normal, non-gate woman, and, tries to kick his weird beauty fetish having ass. It doesn't work out well because Legion is pretty strong, and Legion just escapes, giving Nito a bunch of like little ghoul monsters to deal with and whatnot.
The Beast got to use his a second version of his finisher.
Yeah.
Hyper Magnum Strike. Like that was awesome because he shot it in the air, and then Chimera just like ran around all the ghouls and took him out. It was awesome.
It kind of reminded me of the transformation pose for Kyoryuger, because it like when they transform, they do a spin around and shoot into the air, and they're
I wonder if that was written to the script, or like they were like, or like Nito's actor was like, we should do this, and then they're like, okay.
Maybe that'd be a kind of neat nod.
Nito's actor is known for like making references to other stuff, and that'd be a cool reference.
He's also from the same.
What are you talking about?
Kyoryuger is like a transformation pose.
Yeah.
Really?
They point their gun up in the air.
He like the way that they do it is they have this gun, this like weird revolver thing. They spin the barrel around, do a little dance, and then shoot it into the air, and like the dinosaur head of their respective dinosaur shoots out and like spins around them, and
then they just transform.
Yeah. So that's pretty much. It looked a whole lot like the Kyoryuger transformation sequence thing.
Yeah,
just a little bit.
There. Yeah.
And like it might also be because they Nito's actor is in the same talent agency as the as Kyori Red's actor, King's.
Oh.
So that's a pretty neat
Not
thing.
that. Yeah, that is.
So it may be just coincidence, or it may be just kind of a whole big reference to the shows being airing at the same time. Who knows?
Yeah.
But it seems I should explain first of all that when I say that Legion has a weird beauty fetish, it's more that like he doesn't see people as actually beautiful. He more like sees people's passion and selflessness and everything, and he's like, "Though that's so sweet. I should really kill the shit out of you for it." Because I don't know, he's really weird.
Yeah,
he's really weird.
That lady, that lady was helping like an old lady across the street, and he got all like, he was like, "Oh, that's beautiful. I think I'll destroy it now." And then he did the same with the guitar player. He's like, "Yeah, I'm just making my way up. I hope to be like a famous guitar player." And he's like, "Oh, that's great. Let me destroy that for you." It's like, it's just, Legion's a jerk, but he's a cool Phantom.
He's a cool villain, if nothing else. But moving on, Medusa, while Legion is attacking another person, confronts Legion, but Gremlin, because, you know, he's still a little shit, comes out of nowhere and saves the whole day for Legion and lets him just kind of go away. Medusa is really getting like the shit given to her like she's really not having a good day lately.
Yeah.
Nothing's really going her way. Specifically because Phoenix isn't around anymore.
You know, I just realized something? Someone brought this up, but speaking about Phoenix, but do you think he's gonna come back?
We talked about this a while ago, that like he could either not come back ever, or come back as like the strongest Phantom ever because he's died so many times forever.
No, because didn't like supposedly what they said was didn't he say that every time he dies he comes back stronger?
Yeah.
And someone pointed that out, and he was like,
well,
what is he gonna like keep dying and then coming back, and then he's gonna like be stronger than the sun? Is that what's gonna happen? Like,
I want to clarify something. Does Phoenix need mana to like revive himself?
No, well, actually, at this point, the thing is that the more times that he dies, the less mana it takes for him, the less mana and less time it takes for him to revive again. So it's basically making it so eventually it either goes where he doesn't show up again ever, or he does come back and he's the strongest Phantom ever. He just becomes God mode, boss time, and everything. And there's
Phoenix, he is the Phoenix.
Yeah.
He is the Phoenix Phantom, so that's definitely a possibility.
We brought this up around the time that the whole all dragon form thing did happen and he got kicked into the sun. We aren't totally sure if it's going to happen or not, but there's good reason to believe that he might come back because of his power set.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we'll just see then.
Oh, yes. But, as far as, that whole thing goes, I hope that we maybe see Phoenix again, because I honestly miss his weird, crazy ass. So, hopefully. And technically, I feel like Nito still has a bone to pick with Phoenix, because Phoenix never, respected him at all. So it's kind of, I don't know. I feel like Nito should at least have some whacks at Phoenix at some point. Who knows?
Yeah.
But back to this. While Haruto and Shunpei are out running around doing errands, I guess, they run into the brother of the sister from earlier in the episode, and he's getting flowers for his sister.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because they we'll talk about the sister in the next episode because reasons, but Legion shows up and is like, "Oh, that's so sweet. You're so caring for your sister. Oh, die." And
Yes.
basically they try and fight him off the best that they can before Nito shows up all transformed and everything and helps Haruto out.
But, I was thinking about it. I'm like, when Nito jumped in as Beast, he was in he had his Buffa mantle on.
Yeah.
So like that increases his endurance and his strength.
Mm-hmm.
But that still didn't do much against Legion. Like he got like hit and he's like, he flinched that. And
Yeah.
He gets he has more endurance, and that endurance stands for like withstanding stuff, right? Like defense and whatnot.
Well, depending. If we're talking RPG terms, then yeah, I guess so.
Yeah. So, I mean, Legion is strong. He's a pretty strong tandem. But moving on.
Now, this is probably the most interesting part of the episode for me. Gremlin goes just walking around their whole weird phantom base and gets caught by Wise Man. Seems he's been trying to make himself more of a target so he could go and talk to Wise Man, because the only person that could really get close to Wise Man at all is Medusa. So he needed to bring himself up in the ranks a little bit. But
by doing shitty little things?
By doing a bunch of shitty things.
I love Gremlin, whatever.
No, like, we brought this up before. I also love Gremlin, but I love to hate him a whole lot.
Yeah.
Because he's a really, really good villain.
Yeah.
He's so shitty and shifty and does so many things that, like, really impede just about everyone. And all does it for his own goals. That he's just a really interesting character in that right. But it gets even more interesting when it comes to this whole part where he gets caught by Wise Man, and before Wise Man decides to kill him like he wants to, Gremlin asks him to tell him about 3 things: the Sabbath, the Wizards, and the Philosopher's Stone.
Yeah.
Now, only one of the things in that whole group of things were anything that we've heard about before. Of course, we know about the stones and everything, but
I think we know about the Sabbath too, right?
Do we?
Or wait, what was the that event that made Haruto into a wizard?
That was the eclipse. Not I'm not so sure if it was like ever said to be the Sabbath, but
okay, all right.
I'm feeling like possibly the Philosopher's Stone kind of makes the other magical stones that all the other wizards use. And I'm not totally sure of that, but that's how I feel it might be going in. There's, like, we don't get a whole lot of information still because they're just being really riddle talky and not really explaining much of anything, but we get a little bit more in the next episode. So Haruto and Nito are basically getting their shit wrecked by Legion really hard. And basically before the end of the whole fight, because it's pretty apparent that Legion is going to win this fight, he shoots out these like big fireball things and paralyzes, at least for a little bit, paralyzes Haruto, who jumps in the way, saving Nito. He decides that Haruto is possibly the most beautiful person he's ever met, and cuts a huge portal in Haruto's chest and jumps into his underworld, which is apparently Legion's power. He can just cut into people and go to their underworld, depending on, well, like, regardless of if they're a gate or not. So he jumps in and just attacks Haruto directly on his insides. Nito uses his engage ring to jump in and save Haruto, but during the fight with Legion inside Haruto's body, even with the help of Chimera and Dragon, they can't really defeat Legion at all, and Dragon gets blown up by a really strong attack that Legion sends out.
What happens is Dragon I don't want to say sacrifice, but he like gets in the way from Legion and stops him. Well, because like Nito and Chimera are having trouble, right, fighting against Legion, and like Dragon's not doing any good too with them, even though they're all fighting together. But like he catches Legion before Legion like makes an attack on Chimera and Nito, I think. And then he blows up, yeah.
Dragon blows up, and in turn, so does Haruto's belt, effectively killing Haruto's magic source entirely. So, as of the end of this episode, Haruto is no longer a wizard.
I was like, that's the last time I let Nito in my body.
Oh my god.
Oh god.
Anyway, let's continue.
I felt like that episode had a lot of parts to it, but it's not even the big main event because it's just the first part of everything, but I feel like it set up a lot of interesting points, especially with Gremlin and Wise Man's conversation. And I'm not totally sure exactly where it's going to go from here, but we can definitely go on to episode 31. Do you guys have anything to say about episode 30 before we move on?
Not really. We pretty much summed up all the little things I think that were important, especially with the Sora Gremlin confronting the White Wizard, not the White Wizard, sorry. It's the Wise Man. White Wizard, Wise Man. It's just whatever. What if they are the same thing?
No. Yeah.
But about the Philosopher's Stone, that was like the one thing that really caught my interest, because it was just like, what is that? Is that there was like rumors, I remember, or like not rumors, sorry, speculation that Koyomi is going to be part of that, or is like the Philosopher's Stone part of it, or has to do something with it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Were you saying, Eric?
I see that. No. I was just say like Koyomi is required to make the Philosopher's Stone or something like that.
Yeah. So either she's gonna be like a big part of it, or nothing about it, and we are totally off. And that makes me actually go into something else really quickly. Is I really don't want this to happen, because like it's like the same thing that's been happening for like the past three, 4 Kamen Rider series, is that like Koyomi's gonna be like one of those companions that is going to die and either come back or never come back.
Yeah,
and that has literally happened in the last 3 Kamen Riders, and I just really hope that is not a thing, because like it's kind of getting to the point where it's like, okay, now like the 4th time, this is like literally another one of those like companion is gonna die and not come back, or come back. Like we had Philip, who died and then came back, and then we had Ankh, who died and then semi came back but not really, and then we had Kengo, who died and then came back. And so is Koyomi gonna be like the next one, or I just like hope they just don't do.
I mean, that's something we could do without. That totally is. Like, man, I'm thinking about like previous Kamen Riders before like Decade, like Kiva and Deno and Kabuto. were they anything
no,
similar
not
to that?
non-Kabuto.
No.
No, yeah, not
Kabuto.
Kabuto.
I remember specifically that wasn't the case.
And I'm not talking about like side characters who die and come back later.
No, I'm talking about
or
like
just die. I'm talking about like
having that one.
yeah, like
that
one
one
of the
character.
main people, like not like a main-ish person, but like a main person, like a part of like who's been there like the whole time.
Like Philip and like Aunt
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Go,
Philip,
like,
Aunt, and Gogo,
their
yeah.
roles.
Um,
They're all like exactly like that.
yeah, unfortunately, I feel like it is going to happen, but yeah, ever since, Decade finished, they've been doing that for every series so far since then, and it's a little disappointing once I think about it, but hopefully maybe in the next season we don't have that kind of thing happen, but I feel like it's just a thing that they, can't avoid at this point. I mean, it already kind of happened, but we'll get to that in this episode's stuff. But as far as this whole thing goes, I think that it's a little bit like unavoidable at this point that Koyomi is going to fall into the same kind of character death and maybe resurrection thing that has happened in the past 4 shows. 3? Past 3 shows.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just, at this point, it's like I don't mind if they did it like consecutive, maybe like one over here and one over here, but it's literally been like 3 shows in a row where they've done something like that, and it's just like, okay, you cannot do something that similar anymore, please.
Yeah.
Like, the respect.
I can see what you mean by that, and I would really like if they did something much different for next season.
Yeah, well, who knows? Koyomi might not like die or anything. We're just gonna have to see. And technically, she already like died like 1,000 times already.
Yeah.
But she's like, you know, but that's like a condition she has.
Yeah, but I feel like it might be, I don't know, we'll have to see how it goes as the series goes on.
Yeah. Actually, Koyomi passing out or losing mana actually has something to do with the next episode we're going to talk about anyways.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
On to episode 31, if there's nothing else. Huh.
No. I think I covered a big stuff. My bad.
Okay. Episode 31. Legion and Nito kind of get barfed out of Haruto's underworld, and Legion, having felt like he can't really do much more, escapes and just walks away. Everyone is kind of panicked because Haruto doesn't have his belt anymore and is basically not a wizard anymore. Everyone's super upset. We have the opening and everything, and we cut to Wise Man and Gremlin again. Wise Man asks what Gremlin could possibly want to do with the knowledge of those 3 things from the last episode, and Gremlin says, "The same thing you did. After all, I'm not Gremlin, I'm Sora." Now that is a really interesting line to me, cause I don't know what the fuck he's talking about. Cause basically it comes down to Gremlin is like, he's the only one that is very sure of himself and calls himself Sora all the time. He never calls himself Gremlin, and he always calls everyone else by their actual human names. It makes me feel like there is some part of him that is still possibly Sora, the person that he was before, and is trying to either get out, or there's some kind of weird corruption between the 2 parts that is making Gremlin as a whole right now. So I feel like that's a really interesting point. What do you guys think of that?
Oh man,
Eric, you go first.
I don't know what to say. I mean, like, I don't know why Gremlin would do that. I don't know what his motive would be. But okay, no, Rad just blew my mind. I need to think about this for a second. Okay.
But yes, this is that's a really interesting thing with Gremlin, and this is one of the reasons why, like I said, I really like to hate Gremlin, because he's so fucking interesting so far. He's like the one big, really mysterious part of Wizard, which we haven't had much of that up till now. I mean, yeah, there's been some mystery surrounding Wise Man, but ever since Gremlin showed up, things have gotten a whole lot more interesting as far as the bad guys have gone. Because he's such a shitlord and he's doing everything for his own goals that it makes me wonder exactly what he is planning on doing. Yeah, what exactly his goals are.
Wait, do Phantoms ever have like their own? Because their main goal is just to make gates, right?
Did you say Phantoms?
Oh, didn't I? Isn't?
Yeah, he said
No,
Phantoms.
no, I just thought I swear to God, I thought you literally said fandoms.
No.
Oh.
I thought you said fandoms, and I was like, wait, what?
Okay, no, Phantoms. They don't have their own like goals, right? Their main goal is to create gates, right?
Yeah, they follow.
Like Medusa is not plotting anything on her own. She's just like, I'm gonna do everything for the Wise Man. But Gremlin, he's got something in his head. Like, he's not just making gates. I think he's gonna use Wise Man in a way.
That's how it seems like. It seems like he's using just about everyone around him, including the wizards.
Yeah.
And it's a really puzzling kind of situation. I don't feel like there's been this much kind of really emphasized mystery in Kamen Rider in a little while.
Yeah.
But off the topic of what the fuck is Gremlin doing, the whole wizard team, I should say, is mourning the loss of Haruto's magic, because it's kind of a big deal, until Haruto wakes up and kind of realizes he can't do magic anymore himself. And he's really torn up about this.
Yeah.
Speaking of people that are really torn up about this, Nito is on a mad scramble to find and finish off Legion, because he feels like he is completely the reason why Haruto doesn't have his magic anymore.
Yeah.
And he feels like if he
has
does
to own up to what he's done.
Yeah.
To Haruto.
He feels so bad about the whole thing that he feels like if he can't get this done,
He won't be able to talk to Haruto.
Yeah, he won't be able to face Haruto at all anymore.
Good moment.
Yeah. Nito kind of has a really good character moment in this, because you realize how much, even though he still keeps up. Yeah, he changed a lot since we first met him, which wasn't even all that long ago. And he's really grown as a character, and even though he still sees Haruto as his rival, he sees him as his friend firsthand, and rival second, probably.
But yeah, it goes up.
Yeah.
Oh, no, you continue. You go.
Okay. Haruto wants to help because he's Haruto and he needs to do something useful. Yeah. And regardless of him not having magic, he still wants to do something. Everyone around him realizes that, being a a wizard and having his magic and being able to help people is so ingrained in him that he can't just sit still and do nothing. And you really get to see how torn up Haruto is in this whole part, because he looks really distressed. He doesn't know what to do with himself, and he's just kind of stumbling out, still like half dead, and wanting to do something when he really can't do anything at all.
Yeah.
Nito runs up and finds Haruto and talks him out of trying to do what he was doing, trying to track down the Phantom, because if he did, there's not much he could do about it, and Nito really couldn't forgive himself if Haruto somehow got himself killed because he doesn't have his magic anymore. Haruto, after getting in a whole big slump, meets up with the brother and sister from the last episode again, telling the sister that he hates to say it, but he can't do his magic anymore. The little girl, the sister, apparently is having a surgery soon, and she was very worried about the whole thing, and it was bumming her out a whole lot. And her brother was trying to cheer her up with magic tricks and whatnot, but the actual magic that Haruto was able to do really cheered the girl up and made her not so worried about the surgery that she would be doing. And the brother explains that even though he doesn't have his magic anymore, he's sure that his sister still is really glad that he was able to do that for her at the time. And that he still really helped her. Koyomi, feeling like she was going to be a burden on Haruto and everyone else after he lost his magic, left, leaving the please ring behind. Haruto finds...
Oh, wait. Are we going on to that part?
Yeah.
Okay. So, before we get there, I'm gonna go back to Beast again. Sorry. So Nita goes to find Legion. And he's fighting him, lion style. And then he goes into Hyper Beast, and he's doing really good. Legion is kind of having a hard time, but in reality, Legion does this special move where, he rips a hole into, reality almost. And, he just rips a hole, just a giant slash, and gets, Nito's foot stuck. And he can't move. So he's basically immovable, and then Nito can't do anything. And Legion just walks away. Anyway,
but, yeah, all that happens, but, it seems like Legion starts having more of an interest in Nito because he has, Nito is really showing that he doesn't want to let Legion get away because of how he feels about this whole situation.
Yeah.
But in the end, yeah, he still just kind of walks away from Nito.
Walks away. Yeah.
Haruto, after finding the please ring on the table, runs out looking for Koyomi and finds her on the same beach that they met on. And she's kind of running drastically low on mana. She talks some sense into Haruto, saying that no matter what happens, even if he doesn't have his magic anymore, the effect that he has had on people's lives was not made from the magic that he had. It was made from his heart and the things that he did himself for people.
Yeah. He can still bring hope to others without his magic, basically.
And she is basically really fading away at this point. And it was a really kind of touching scene because they, Koyomi is about to fall over and Haruto catches her and they just kind of hug in place while they're talking. And, Koyomi is crying, saying that thanks to him, even if she does run out of mana, she can die feeling like she's a human being and not just a doll. And I, legit cried at that part. It made me really fucking... no.
That was a pretty
but I
moment.
was, tearing up, but... Yeah, I didn't cry at the part, but I did. But I think I told you I cried at the grandma episode.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I teared up near that one.
But
There
yeah,
were a few episodes. I didn't tear up in this one though. I didn't I know there's feels from that. I'm like, yeah, Haruto. This is
I agree with you. I didn't full on tear up, but I was like, oh, that's really sad. And a little bit, but not really. But yeah, what were you saying?
I got super fucking sad. I couldn't control myself.
It was a good moment though. So,
yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's totally okay to invoke some emotion to human beings because that's.
Yeah, I think I've only cried literally 3 times in Kamen Rider. End of Double, the stupid part with the grandma in Wizard, and then if you ever seen Kiva, the Bear Fangery episodes, I'm not gonna say what happens, but just those episodes made me cry, and those were the 3 times I've ever cried in Kamen Rider.
The grandma episodes, so tear-wrenching, man. Ugh. I was so totally tearing up, but
this episode was if you don't ship Koyomi and Haruto, now you will.
Yeah, pretty much.
Close to it, or be okay with it.
But yeah, so they're just holding each other and talking and tearing up and crying, and then that makes everyone else tear up and cry watching it. But continue, Zach.
But then out of nowhere, the shitlord that is Legion decides to come up out of nowhere and is like, "Oh, that's so sweet, but it's wrong," and it's just.
Oh wow, Legion, the asshole, breaking up another warming moment.
That's all he seems to do. As soon as something sweet happens, he's like, "That's so fucking precious, I just want to destroy it." And he has some weird, good person sense where whenever something actually good is happening, he just shows up.
Yeah.
But Haruto tries to fight off Legion, but in the end, without his magic, he can't really do much of it. This was actually,
fight.
Yeah, this was actually a really good scene for me because I feel like it was the first time that we got to see Haruto so mad. It felt like we got to see him really push past his limit because he was basically just screaming and trying his hardest to kick the shit out of Legion even though he didn't have his powers. But Haruto keeps fighting until Koyomi spends the very last bit of her mana trying to walk to him, and in the end collapses in the sand, basically dead. So, the thing that we said was a thing kind of happened just then. Haruto basically loses it and cries really openly. Legion says, "Give up. This is a fight that you can't win." And Haruto vows to never give up hope, because he's never going to give up protecting his friends or give up the hope of saving Koyomi, even though things are looking very dire. His tears are still falling. His tears are crying.
His
It's
tears
so-
are so strong, they're crying tears. Yeah. Yeah, but he's just crying. He really has lost his shit after what happened to Kiyomi, and I don't think he felt hopeless. He did not feel hopeless. I think he felt like, I will do everything in my power, I swear to God, to stop Legion and, continue on with my life. Like, yeah.
Yeah, that was definitely the feeling that came off of it. Like, he was going to never give up hope, even if it was completely ridiculous never to give up hope. He's basically turned into a hope lantern in every way possible. It's and through his tears, he gets a new ring, the Infinity Ring, which looks really nice and is done through a really, really translucent not plastic, but gemstone thing, which is a lot more see-through than the other stones that we've had up till now.
Yeah.
It was really pretty.
Oh, it was super pretty.
Yeah.
But like his whole design of that, I think, was based off of diamonds.
Yes.
Yeah, the top crown part is like, one of those like rings with the that holds the diamond in. Yeah. And it's supposed to look like a king's crown at the same time, like a ring.
It looked really cool. I'm loving this ultimate form design.
Also, it helps, like, if it is supposed to be kind of kingly, it, like, kind of goes with my feeling that all, king or emperor-based designs for Kamen Rider are the best, final ultimate designs, because, Blade King form is the fucking raddest, and
I love
Kiva's Emperor form looks really rad.
Yeah. It's like, if this is supposed to invoke kingliness, then fucking I was right all along, and king-like forms are still the best.
Yep.
I think there were like 3 king emperors. It was Emperor Kiva, obviously Blade King form, and then I guess this Wizard Infinity form is like a kingish kind of form, right? Is those 3?
I don't think the other ones were any like royalty, kingish, emporish like forms. I don't believe so. Those were the only ones.
Unless you count, but like everything in Kiva was pretty much royalty, so you can't really say like Saga.
Oh yeah.
That's final form, and then like Dark Kiva or whatever. Or was it Dark? I don't know. Whatever.
I don't know.
I'm just talking about like main forms. Those are the only like royalty ones, right?
I think so. If we're also talking about kings, I guess Kamen Rider Black is also a good example, because he's he's a Century King. And his design is fucking great. So,
well, it's simple but nice.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't really have like obviously like the royalty look to him.
Yeah.
But it's really nice though. Like it's simple, it's bug-like, it's Kamen Rider.
Yeah. So all kings in Kamen Rider look fucking great. That's kind of the thing that I'm taking away from this.
Yeah.
But
he gets the Infinity Ring. And like Legion's like, oh, that's weird. Well, no. He gets the Infinity Ring, but the Infinity Ring like glows and flashes and blasts Legion away for a bit, and then Haruto gets to talk to Dragon, which you can continue on from that.
Yes. Haruto talks to the dragon inside him, and he's like, the dragon basically says, "You never cease to amaze me, wizard. Because of this ring and your passion for your friends, have been resurrected. Thanks for that. Because of that, I'm going to give you all of my power completely."
Okay.
Yeah, Dragon Wizard, not all my power. Infinity, all my power.
Yeah, okay, wait, I just want to say something really quick. And it's a little bit of a criticism, and I'm not saying it's like awful, because you know what, this is a kid show, and this is like a trope that happens, but it's like one of those things where it's like the friendship and the tears like bring back things, and it like reminded me of like the Pokemon movie, where like Ash dies and then the tears of the Pokemon.
Yeah.
It's like one of those tropes where like if you cry enough, like really hard, things will happen. Which is the opposite of real life, by the way. If you cry a lot, nothing's gonna happen.
You'll just feel more sad and really tired.
No, but I just thought it was a really funny kind of like. I mean, it was a deep moment, but at the same time, I couldn't like semi take it seriously because it was such a trope of like tears bringing back powers or things, you know?
Yeah, it's definitely tropey, but I think that it still fit pretty well with the whole theme of the show, I guess.
Yeah, I guess like I don't know, like. I don't think it really, like, fit, because, like, where did tears and stuff come from, like, that had power? Like, there was, like, no thing that, you know what I mean? I mean, I'm not saying it's a bad thing. It happened, it happened. I'm not gonna, like, say, well, Wizard is the shittiest Kamen Rider because that happened, you know? It's just, like, one of those things I was like, really?
Well, think about, like, how everyone else got their ultimate forms. Like, DK just got it from... He just got it, and was... I thought it was kind of like, oh, you just got it, okay. And then, Double, how did he get?
He got his by, like, it just kind of showed up because,
it was,
the Extreme Memory Bird Eagle thing.
But that makes more sense because it didn't happen because of, like, tears. It happened because of frickin' what's-her-face?
Shroud. Shroud,
yeah.
Yeah. Because, like, she literally had, like, a thing that was like, here, this is a thing that is gonna give you your power. And it made more sense because, like, the whole point of, like, Double working together is because literally, like, synchronizing, you know?
I guess.
Yeah, you know, like, it had to actually do with, like, you know, being, like, mentally strong or, like, something. In
like,
synchronizing.
He wasn't supposed to be Double.
Yeah, so that made sense because it was like a mental, like literally like a mental thing. Like the reason why they were having issues at that one point is because of like the mental synchronization kind of thing going on.
And like,
plus the extreme memory was like a
H
thing.
just got the purple core medals. He just got them.
Yeah, because Mackie just kind of sent them off.
Yeah, and just got the purple core medals, which is like okay, you know. Like,
but
that makes sense. It's like whatever.
But the thing, Forze was just like. Gentaro died and came back, and it was because of friendship. That was the actual friendship one.
That
was the actual shonen. Your friendship will make everything stronger thing.
Yeah, pretty much.
But I mean, like, that one worked in a way because remember, Forze's whole theme was about friendship, and as cheesy as it was.
To be fair though, for this one. The tears weren't the main part of it. It just kind of materialized the ring. The main part of it is that Haruto vowed to never give up hope, which was his whole deal.
Yeah.
So like
his own strength that brought upon the ring to and resurrect Dragon.
Like the tears were just kind of materialized it, and I don't really know why the tears materialized it. It was just kind of a thing. I think it was more like it was the strongest output of his hope.
It made sense, like the hope thing, but then at the same time, like Wizard is more. I don't know. It just felt kind of like weird, but I'm not like hating on it. Type of thing.
I see what you mean, but I mean, also think about this. Like, what if like instead of tears, like he didn't cry a ring? Like, think about like some magical giant chunk of diamond falling on his head. Like, would that be normal?
I can't really think of a better way.
Normal. I'm just kidding. No, I just thought, like, to be honest, like, it would have been a little bit better if, like, they had the ring or had, like, something about, like, they knew about this ring, you know? Instead of it just, like, magically being, like, it popped out of your tears and shit.
Okay,
like, you know
actually,
what I mean? Like,
I just thought of maybe an explanation of why his tears made the whole thing. Maybe. This might be just kind of stupid, but whatever.
I like how we're like having like a serious discussion.
Yeah, we're talking about why is tears making rings? That makes no sense.
Like, this is a podcast where we talk about the Kamen Rider shit that's happening. We might as well take this shit seriously.
I just think it's really funny because we take this shit so seriously, but then in reality it's like a kid show for like children, and we're just like, we're just like, Kamen Rider is serious business.
At least we aren't trying to be deep and philosophical about My Little Pony.
I mean, we're all taking this all fun and like speculating stuff. But anyways, go on. What are you saying?
Okay, so what I think might have made this happen was that his like tears, like the whole ring is not actually supposed to be actual diamonds. It's supposed to be like a representation of how his hope is so strong that the tears basically crystallize into being a ring that
I'm sorry.
and it's now just made him unbreakable. I don't know, it's the stupidest thing, but it's...
As cheesy as it sounds, that actually does make kind of sense.
Because diamonds are super strong.
So...
Isn't
like Infinity kind of like a diamond?
Yeah, it is. Like its whole...
Like diamond, like the hardest, like the toughest, like substance.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I meant. It's one of the strongest, like rocks. Like, substances.
No, but actually, Rat's explanation does make sense because
that makes sense.
That does make sense.
There we go.
It still looks like a little bit like.
It's never not gonna be dumb. But it's going to. We can at least justify it.
Yeah, but you know what? You explained that like really well, though. So, like, yeah, no, it was a very good explanation, I think.
But yes, he talks to the dragon. The dragon gives him all of his powers, and Haruto transforms with the henshin sound of Hisui Fudo Bujaba Budokon, and that's pretty much it.
It's one of the coolest transformations aside from Hyper Beast. Yeah, but and I mean, like, it was like infinity. It was just chanting it.
It kind of went on a little bit too long.
Yeah.
Hey, but that was like I felt it was okay. It did go on a little bit, but it felt so right. It was like chanting infinity, and I felt like I just loved every second of it. So,
it was a pretty hype thing.
It was a good transformation, not one of my like super favorites because it the thing is like the belt to me sometimes like I don't really like the belt voice as much as like some others. Like it's an okay belt voice, but like I don't know, it's shouting infinity and then like the really cool form was just like kind of like a little off for me. But I mean like the whole like actual transformation of infinity form was really cool.
We get to see a shorter version of it in episode 32 when we talk about that next week. But it's a lot better there because they only do infinity. They only say infinity once and then they go into the transformation, which is still really cool and everything. But basically, he does the belt does the whole infinity thing like 60 times. The dragon comes crashing down onto Haruto, and it covers him in a whole bunch of rough diamonds, which get chiseled away basically to show the infinity form, and like sparkles go off everywhere. And they have
like perfect camera views of his suit, and like just sparkles are just shimmering around with lighting, and it's like it looks so good.
It looks really fucking pretty.
Rough diamond thing, like it like turns into like a really like pretty like suit, Yeah.
Like under it, it's just a really clear and shiny looking suit.
Because like the whole like expression like diamond in the rough, or like what you have to in order to get like a diamond, you have to like work for it. Like with like whole like whatever rocks you have to whatever diamonds out of. So yeah, I like that whole like transformation was really cool.
But from there, we see that the whole costume is fucking great. Like, even back when we first saw previews of it, it looked pretty good, but in motion, it looks amazing. It looks so good because the lighting of it shines off of it because it has like these reflective plates under the armor that make it really shiny and holographically looking and everything.
I just want to take another good look at it, so I'm gonna pull up the episode now.
It looks pretty great, and
they had the diamond in like some of the like oddest places, like places that I wouldn't expect.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna look it up again.
Okay, I have another. I'm sorry, I'm like bringing out like the bad points that I didn't like, but I mean, we can't just like all.
Yeah, we can't just
No, we
praise it.
need
That's
that
fine.
side.
I no, don't get me wrong. I really do love Wizard. It took me a while to like the helmet, but it really grew on me, and I think it looks good, you know. And like I like the whole like outfit, and Infinite Form is really sweet. But like, I didn't really like the look of the Excalibur sword.
Really?
Like, I think it looks really out of place, in my opinion. I don't know.
Well, what I wanted them to work on the Excalibur would actually be like the holding area, like maybe. Actually, I want to look at it again. I'm sorry. Let me just see.
Like, I know everyone likes it, but I don't know. It just looks really out of place to me. Like, out of the with the costume, it's just like I don't know if it's the red on the thing. Like maybe if they like did a similar color scheme.
I think the
red.
red.
It just looks kind of off to me.
I think if the red was maybe like clear, like the diamond clearness of the other stuff, it would look better. I kind of agree with you on that point. The red does seem a little off a bit.
Like maybe it's not so much the design. Like maybe it's like the color. Like I don't know. Like I know. Like if you had like everything the same color, it would have been a little bit boring. But I don't know. Red just looks way out of place with that whole entire outfit.
By the way, we just lost Eric, but it'll be fine. He'll be back in a little bit. Point is,
he was really angry with me, so he just left. I'm just kidding.
Right,
no, I know.
Okay, there he is.
There he is.
But
okay, now I'm back. Yeah.
I do agree that it looks a little bit off, but I don't think it's like a huge big deal.
Like,
yeah.
It's not awful. I'm not saying like, well, the Excalibur is like the worst weapon, and like, I mean, it looks out of place, but it's not awful. Maybe if they like changed the color scheme of it or something, it would look a little bit better. And like, to be honest, it looks kind of off, but maybe it's just the color. But
I think that's
I don't know.
it.
There's something about the weapon that doesn't really match with the like whole outfit. Like if you look at like Blade King form, does he have a sword? I don't remember.
Yes,
Yeah,
he has the king sword.
Let me look it up really
It looks
quickly.
pretty big.
Like if I remember correctly, like the sword. Yeah, okay, yeah, he did have a sword. So if you like look at the sword, it perfectly matches the outfit, and it like looks very fluid and like nice, you know, and it's like all packaged together. If you look at like Cosmic States, like it matches, you know. Like it might not be like the whole same color, but it still like looks good. But like I don't know, with this form like and the weapon, it just looks off to me. Like something is not right completely.
I can see what you mean, but like
compared to like especially like the other, you know, like super forms that have like swords and stuff like that, this one looks like a little bit out of place. Like not like fully out of place, like a little bit out of place.
Eiji's ultimate form, Puto, the purple metal combo, he got an axe too, which could turn into a gun. Yeah, he did.
What, did he? Yeah, you're right. No, I
sell
remember.
medals and be like, "Get jump."
Yeah.
And it's played one of the best songs, like Puto Tina no Hisao.
I have a little candy toy version of that. Actually, it's kind of neat. I got it for Christmas last year, and it's pretty cool. It does a little gun sound when you blast it.
Did you get the XD?
No, it's a tiny candy toy version.
Oh, okay, that's still cool.
I wish I got the XD. That's fucking rad, but like, there's no way I could have gotten that.
So that was another ultimate form axe weapon, and I mean it.
Well, no, it doesn't have to do with the axe.
With the design.
Yeah, it's not really that it was an axe thing.
It had nothing to do with like a different weapon. Like honestly, if he had like a different weapon, and
I know what you mean.
Form,
it incorporated with the design, right? It looked.
Yeah.
It was
design, like it was purple and it was like dinosaur motif and
yeah.
Well,
this one didn't really match up very well. Yeah.
The axe part of it looks like a wing of dragon, but the color scheme is I guess kind of off. You're right. I do want the red to be like some kind of crystal like diamond.
Yeah. Right. I mean, like, because I looked at like a couple different final forms already, and if you look at their main weapon, plus like the actual final form, they all like synchronizedly, like it looks good and fluid. But then like when you look at Wizard Infinity and like his Excalibur, it's just like a little bit like it just doesn't look super right to me.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's not like, I'm not saying like the weapon is really lame or anything, but it just it looks off.
I understand.
Yeah.
I still really like it for Wizard. Like I'm glad that they made, also has a pretty cool name, Excalibur.
Yeah.
Excalibur, blah blah blah.
Anyway, I would like to continue on the episode because I want to admit, like, we should talk about that.
Yes.
The fight.
From that point on, like, it gets fucking crazy. Legion decides that even though he transformed, it just makes everything more interesting, and goes to cut Haruto, and Haruto stands perfectly still, gets hit, and nothing happens. The whole Terran space,
the Terran
like,
things don't even affect him.
yeah, it just kind of shatters as soon as it hits him, and
Legion goes for like a jump slash, like a really strong one. Guess what? He slashes him, it breaks off. His weapon breaks.
it's fucking awesome. But like, Haruto beats him up a little bit before
Bring out Excalibur.
yeah, bring out Excalibur, and he says, "Come, dragon," and like the Excalibur shows up in the same kind of rough, rough diamond effect that his suit did, and it floats in the air. He grabs it by the handle part,
handle part.
starts slashing at him, and we see that the Excalibur is actually fucking huge. It's a really huge weapon. It's not like one of the
It's a multi-purpose weapon. It can be a sword and axe.
It's kind of like we said before, the Gabu, the Gabu, whatever it's called, the one that Ichi used. It's it was called the Gabu, the Gabu Cannon or something. I think something along those lines. But it like Ichi's one, it was pretty huge. Both these weapons are pretty huge and had multi-purposes and everything. But Haruto's weapon is just gigantic. It's so big, which is so cool. It's like, I've been waiting for a really legitimately huge Kamen Rider weapon for a while. It's a little too bad that the Tori, when it eventually comes out, will be so tiny compared to it, but it's still pretty cool.
Wait, like it grew big, or like it's big?
Oh
no, it's just
in general, it's huge. It's like it's his waist to his head, basically.
Yeah, it's a really huge weapon, just standardly.
Wait, are we talking about the Excalibur?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it?
Like, just look at it. It's fucking huge.
I can't tell what AG's size is. Like, okay, but I mean, AG's weapon.
When I think of huge weapons, I thought like the cosmic sword thing was really huge.
It's pretty big, but like even that one kind of feels dwarfed compared to this one.
Really? I thought.
I feel like it is.
Let me see. Yeah, because I thought like the Cosmic States sword was pretty big.
Yeah, because I mean, I can like when I'm playing Super Climax Heroes.
I didn't think the Excalibur was. Hold on, I have to actually like see this.
When I see Forza use like his cosmic finisher in Super Climax Heroes, it's pretty big. He has to open it up and then like swing it around, and it's fairly big.
Because like I know it got big like when you slashing at it, but that's like slashing, but like the actual thing doesn't look super huge to me. Like
I'm looking at the episode right now, and it looks. Okay, I'll look at it.
Okay, so that's Forza, and then look at the Excalibur. Like I don't know, that looks like kind of small.
I'm not saying that it's like the biggest thing. Oh no, actually, that
isn't
that right there is a whole lot smaller than the one in the show. I feel
like. That might be the toy version.
Yeah.
I have the episode up, and it's pretty huge. Like it's like I said, up to his waist to his head.
It's
pretty big.
It's pretty big in the show. I think that's a smaller press version.
Yeah.
Because
If I can get a good
because I was
picture.
wondering because I've watched that show the episode 31 like a week ago, and so I'm not really remembering like the weapon comparisons.
Oh my God, this fight.
okay, here we go.
Yes.
I got a
fight.
good example of how big it is right here.
Okay, yeah,
and
you should show me that.
It's pretty huge. I feel like it's a pretty huge thing. I'm sorry for the people that are watching right now and
Yeah,
just
we're
kind
all
of
like sharing pictures with each other.
It's a really cool, but like Wizard's Infinity form is really
Oh yeah,
cool.
it is pretty big.
it's a pretty big weapon, and it like
I think it's really like the handle, but it looks like lengthwise, it looks really similar like lengthwise, but I think the handle axe part, like what the dragon wing is, I think that's like the big part of it.
yeah, then like in
But the lengthwise, like if you like compare it lengthwise, that looks like a standard like regular like sword.
yeah, but it feels like because of how much
think-
of it is an actual weapon, it feels
Yeah.
like it is
I think
a
like,
much
the
bigger
axe
weapon.
Part of it with the wing is what makes it look bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
But I
if you
think
can
it's
see
all,
the
like, really
hand,
about perception.
the hand like driver part of it, it's kind of it's smaller compared to like the actual hand driver.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You notice that? Yeah.
But like he grabs that and starts using the sword part of it, and just slashes through Legion a whole bunch of times.
And Legion's just like, he can't do shit, and then he shoots out like a bunch of laser beams, and it just bounces off of like destructive balls of energy, and then just it bounces off of Haruto's armor. It's great.
And like Haruto just slashes him a whole bunch of times, and like he does this thing where it says that it says turn on, and it basically makes him go super fast. He's
No. Oh wait, what's that actually?
yeah.
I think he put his infinity ring near to his belt again. And
Oh, yeah,
he said,
yeah.
Infinity, and then he like dashed at like okay, I won't.
Yeah, that's what
almost
happened.
clock up speed. Almost clock up speed.
He was
He
almost
was pretty
clocked
darn
up.
fast.
So he was going super fast and slashing through him while like weird kind of rainbow-ish sparkle went behind him to show that he
Yeah.
was
It
going.
was great.
It like
Infinity.
it was pretty cool. But then he turned it up ways to show the axe part, where the whole fighting style changed completely, and it said then it said turn on, implying that like the sword part was the kind of weaker side of it, and the axe part was when it gets
only
the
has, like, a
strongest.
handle.
And he starts swinging around like it's super heavy and just
Yeah.
slamming it on Legion, and like it was a really cool thing because not many Kamen Riders have really heavy weapons. They usually
Yeah.
have really fast moving ones, but this one was heavy and had a whole lot of oomph to every hit that it had.
Every hit.
And he puts the axe against
Oh, right, yeah.
Legion and basically smacks him away, before giving a fucking high five to the hand on the Excalibur. It got translated, at least by
It was like
over
it was
time,
supposed to say,
as
it was said by high touch, but overtime subbed it as high five,
yeah.
and it was like shining strike, cuda 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 cuda. It was like sparkle 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 sparkle, and like that moment was like that's some Maho shoujo shit right there.
Yeah, he just kind of spins the axe around him while it's getting fucking huge, and jumps up in the air and does a giant dynamic chop on Legion, just cutting him in half.
And he's like so exciting, and then blows up. Oh, but I forgot to mention. This is very important. White Wizard. When Haruto turns in Infinity, White Wizard shows up on like one of the seaside cliff edges. He's like, This has become a problem," and he says that.
Yeah.
So, I don't know what that was about, but White Wizard showed up again.
Yeah. Okay, that's right.
Like
He shows up and he's like, "That's a problem."
we don't know what the fuck anyone is doing.
What did he mean by that?
Like who?
What did he say exactly?
He helped.
He said that it had become a problem, like that
Yeah,
Haruto got
it
so
was-
strong that it became a problem.
It was really
like-
weird because I'm like, wait, how is that a problem?
Yeah, White Wizard helped Haruto get like all dragon form and his Drago timer. But now since Haruto got like Infinity on his own, you get pissed and he's like, "Oh no, he's too powerful now."
I'm still really
Someone's
not
either
sure
really
what side
guilty
he's
or
on.
Someone's actually the bad guy here.
Yeah,
That was weird. That was just a weird moment.
we don't know whose side anyone is on, except for the main characters. Everyone else around them is like, we don't know what the fuck they're doing at all.
Yeah.
But I will have to say that this was maybe not as satisfying as the Cosmic State fight, because we got to hear Cosmic Mind for the first time, and Cosmic Mind is a fucking great song.
But like, hey, wait, no, when Wizard would use like his when he started up Infinity he put his ring to his belt again, and he like started doing clock up shit. It played that song by the Kamen Rider Girls. I don't know what it's gonna be called. There is a name for it. I'm gonna look that up. But it was pretty good. Like I liked the song.
It was a pretty good song. I do like it, but like, I don't know.
It's not as like.
It was
Oomph
not as
to
spectacular
Cosmic Mind.
as the Cosmic States.
Yeah, because there were just explosions everywhere,
Ultimate
and it
Form
was
songs
just
usually have like a really big bit, like a kick to them, you know.
yeah.
Like same goes for like Extreme Dream and like what Power to Tear. Like those had
Well,
A-
yeah.
bam, yeah.
I completely agree on that point, and it's like
It's called Missing Piece. It's called Missing Piece, yeah.
which makes me kind of wonder why exactly it's called Missing Piece, because usually the songs have titles that are semi-related to them.
Oh.
To
Well,
the-
because isn't like
I don't think
Like-
the song title should matter. What matters is some of the lyrics in the song
Yeah.
in Infinity Piece. Like I listened to it and there's a moment like I would actually have to listen to it again, but it says something to like
something
I don't
something.
know,
That's great.
it's not that's not what I mean. What had and then the girls were like Infinity, and they continue on with that. I will actually when the full song comes out and there's like lyrics to it.
I
wanna
think it's
read it off again.
actually on Toku Tunes. Is it? Or maybe that was another one. My bad.
I don't know.
But missing piece, because remember, like Infinity is all the forms, meaning it's complete. So
Missing
maybe that's
Piece.
that's what it means.
So,
missing piece.
Maybe
Like,
that would kind of make sense. Yeah.
because like remember how the dragon said like you're like you can have all my power. So like maybe that was like the missing piece to all his power or something like that.
It's possible.
I don't know.
I wouldn't hold it against the show for making it that. I think that might be how it is.
One of the parts of the song is Your History, Infinity.
Ah.
That's the
Eric is
something
so brave. He like sings all like the token, like the tunes of the music, and he like also sings like the belt songs. What a brave man!
I
But
can't.
I like the sound effects. They're all really good.
I like
You're
them
really good at
too.
them, but like you know, me and Rad are just like,
I can't do it.
Sorry. Yeah.
No. It like we're saying you're doing real good, because like
yeah,
we wouldn't be able to do it ourselves.
Me and Rad are like too shy, and we're self-aware that people like some people
Would
listen
hear
to this
me,
and we're
but
just
I'm confident in my sound effect noises. I guess in a way,
that's good.
I'm weird like that. But
I
yeah,
think Eric should audition for the next Kamen Rider's belt. I'm gonna guide you on that.
But
yeah, it was pretty. I like the song and the form. I think looks great.
But yes, that was basically those 2 episodes in a nutshell. I feel like they had a lot going for them, especially in the last episode we talked about how Haruto didn't really have any hope of his own, and that all of his hope was basically set on his parents' hope and the hope that other people have of him and whatnot. He's basically a selfless hero, and that he doesn't have any hope of his own, kind of like Ichi didn't have any greed of his own.
Yeah.
And in this episode, he kind of found his hope. The hope that he will be strong enough to protect everyone in his life, no matter what happened. I felt like that was a really good character growth moment for him. On top of finding, not finding, because we've seen this kind of thing before in his character, but seeing more of him kind of being really torn up when he feels like he can't really do anything to protect anyone, or if his power is not enough to do anything, he really kind of goes in a awful depressed state. And we saw more of that in this episode. And I felt like it was pretty good to see that side of him again.
Yeah. I mean, these 2 episodes were really good. Aside from some other episodes too, but I really enjoyed this episode, and I hope Wizard continues to be this cool and awesome.
Yeah, there was something I wanted to bring up, but I could not remember what the life of me was. It had to pertain to this episode. There were a couple things I was going to bring up, but I totally forgot what they were. So, my bad.
That's fine.
Can I actually bring up something too, Zach?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Infinity, when Haruto used his Infinity Ring, he went really fast. Do you think that could match Clock Up? I'm just saying.
Maybe not, because
I don't think so.
It seems like it was in very short bursts that he was able to go as fast as he was. He may be able to keep up with it sometimes, but he won't be able to stay that fast for as long as Clock Up goes that fast.
Because I was thinking about Superhero Tyson, and I was thinking about one of the only moments we got to see something match up to Clock Up was Go Buster Red, and how he managed to match Decade's Kabuto form Clock Up speed.
There's that, and there's also the final form of Fize. Well, the secondary final form,
Axel,
where
right?
where he's able to go that fast for 10 seconds.
For 10 seconds.
Was it 10 seconds? I think it was.
I don't think it could
can only
be
get 10
clocked
seconds.
up, because doesn't what's his face Kabuto have hyper clock up, and does that literally?
You can go back.
Yeah, hyper clock up is
but that's the thing though. It goes so fast that you're going so fast that you're going back in time.
You can't keep up with hyper clock up.
Yeah, it's
but Clock Up on his own. I think maybe Haruto could fend off for a little while.
But I think that in the end, Clock Up would still be the most powerful one, because they can stay in Clock Up mode for just about as long as they want to. It's kind of an unfair comparison, and Kabuto is going to stay the most overpowered rider.
They should ban that power from other worlds. That should just be a thing.
But I brought up, I knew about the Fize form probably staying up with, keeping up with Clock Up, because that was a thing that happened in Decade at some point.
Yeah. I remember.
I did not get up to Decay, so I have no idea.
Well, I don't know.
It's short, but it's
Yeah, it's 30. It's because usually the Kamen Rider episodes are 40.
It's 30.
Something 48, 49.
Around.
And then Yuki was the one that hit 50.
Yeah.
But Decade was 38, I think.
No, it was only 30.
No,
31.
Whoa, it was only 30?
Yeah, only 31 episodes and one movie.
They only get the
two
first half,
movies.
like episode 1 to 20, is him going to the other Right of Worlds, and then 20 to 30 are like weird different worlds.
Yeah,
like,
they're
parallel worlds.
They did like one crossover with Super Sentai Shinkenger. They did.
Yeah, that's what I heard. He goes to one of the
and he gets the Shinkenger sword, or
It
but,
like a lot of it was just kind of like he did go from world to world, but they didn't have a whole lot to do in the show.
31 episodes.
So like they didn't have a whole lot to do in the show because there wasn't much of a story until the very end, and it wasn't a really good story to do anything with.
The ending wasn't that great.
Yeah.
And then they had to put the end, like the final ending in the movie.
And it wasn't even the final end because they had to stretch that over into Superhero Tyson, which didn't even finish the fucking story yet.
There's like 3 movies with 3 different endings. Like, wasn't there like All Riders Die Shocker with the double cameo, and then there was like another one with like double again, but it was like the part movies, you know?
It was
like,
a crossover movie.
Yeah.
It was the team up movie.
Decade
Sorry.
continuity is like the most like clusterfuck.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know what's going on.
It's a super clusterfuck, and it's still not done yet.
I do not understand Decade because literally like the ending, because like supposedly like they're both of the movies were canon, but like how do they fit? Because like Tsukasa's like evil in one, and then he's evil in another, but they're evil for like different reasons, and like I don't know. It just got really like, what is going on? It's
a really like dumb kind of turnaround of like I really don't know how to explain it because it wasn't really well thought out.
I'm a bad guy,
honest.
but I'm being a bad guy to lure out the other bad guys so we can all defeat them.
That was the whole point, that he was a bad guy, really so other
freaking weird. It just goes everywhere.
It was not a good thing. Let's just say that. Point is,
you need to get off of Decade. You need to get off.
You need to get off of Decade. People are gonna get mad at us.
I'm gonna get mad.
Yeah, I can feel Eric's rage. Wait. Just to make you more mad, and just because we are actually talking about Decade a little bit. Did you hear about the novel?
Oh God! Don't talk to me about the novel because it was halfway good ideas until it turned into completely awful ideas.
When did they have good ideas? I was reading it.
The good idea.
And I was like, "What is this?"
The synopsis, I was reading. I'm like, "What the hell just happened? They just butchered Decade." What?
I don't even know what was going on. It's like they smoked like a huge joint and was like, "Yeah, let's put all this shit in."
The thing is that
it's a great idea.
It was written by someone else.
Yes, it was written by someone else entirely that had no connection to Decade or anything else. Actually,
it was just some guy who just heard the name Decade and some of the characters like, I'm just gonna write a story about him. I didn't even watch the show.
Is like a vampire or something, and I'm like,
yeah, that's a. I don't understand that at all. The thing is that it was a good idea in making an alternate universe, but for Decade only. Like they made it like completely different characters for the Decade characters itself, but then all the other characters that were going to show up were past Kamen Riders, like their actual characters, except for the fact that it seems like, apparently from what the description said, that
it's only
they had
Kabuto.
it was Deno, Kabuto, and Kuga, but all the characterizations except for Kabuto were completely wrong, and especially Momotaro's, who was apparently really polite and everything.
That's wrong.
And he didn't give nicknames to everyone. He called them by their actual names.
Supposedly this novel is supposed to be canon too, and it's just like, no, it's not.
It's super not.
People, stay away from that novel. Stay away from the novel. You can go watch Decade and get confused, but stay away from the novel. Okay?
Yeah, it was halfway a good idea, but don't.
Suicide. I don't know if that's good or bad, because for what I
do want to read the double novel
really
though. That really interests me. Like Philip being able to fight on this. I do want to read that one.
there are some good novels here and there. The Blade novel sounds like it's going to be really good. The W novel sounds like it was pretty good. Unfortunately, the Kabuto one wasn't that great.
Was good because it was written by the actual writer, I think, and it actually like fit into a story in Double.
Most of them were written by their
early-ish 40, and like Philip had to fight on his own because Shotaro was sick, and he became Kamen Rider Cyclone.
And it explains the Lost Driver that. Cool. Yeah, it explained one of the remember when he picked up a Lost Driver in one of the episodes? I think that's where it explains how he got
how it was there.
Yeah. But like most of the novels are written by their original writers, but the ones that aren't apparently are super bad. Like the only good ones so far are the ones that are straight continuations of the story or take part in some part of the show that they didn't show before. But like a bunch of them so far seem to be like weird alternate universes or kind of retellings from a different perspective of things that happened in the show and don't actually have a whole lot of new stuff in them. Which isn't great. That's like I have a whole lot of hope for like more books from each series, but we'll have to wait and see if anything actually comes from that. But I think we've ranted enough about how some of the novels aren't that great so far.
Yeah.
And I think that that kind of covers all of the episode up until now. So I think this episode of the podcast is just about done.
Yeah, I just want to mention a couple things. I'm very sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
But since we're like on a roll here.
Yeah.
This now that we've so now pretty much we've like got to the point where we've seen his last form, I think, for the most part, because usually like when we see like form like the final form, this is like it, and we don't see any new forms.
It's the last not movie form.
Yeah, okay, so I want to get into that, but like before that, this means that we're gonna see the new rider soon.
Oh yes, we are going to be seeing the sister that Mayu.
No, I was talking about that. I legit mean like 2013.
You mean the next rider?
Oh, right.
After you mean the 2014th rider?
Yeah.
It's like 2013, 2014, like because it's like half of a year, whatever. So that's gonna be interesting, and I think we've got like a rumor that you should take with a grain of salt because like first rumors are never true, type of thing with the keys.
Yes.
Did you hear about that?
For the people that don't know, there is a rumor, and we might as well talk about this. There's a rumor, and I think that it was more just fan art and something as an idea for the next one. But there's a rumor that the next rider will be a key motif rider, where like he has a kind of standard rider-ish shaped head, but like one side of his head is in a weird kind of door key like shape and is all rigid on one side, and it just kind of comes off of the eye. But like he's apparently supposed to have a bunch of other key like shapes.
Okay.
I did?
Maybe.
Mm-hmm. Oh, whoops.
What?
Was it just me? I swear you cut out like for like 5 seconds and then you came back to me.
Oh, well, it'll be fine because I'm recording and nobody will miss anything.
Okay, go on, sorry.
Point is, that'll be a pretty big, thing if it is true, but I really doubt it because it's...
I really, really doubt it because first rumors are always like really off because do you remember like the Wizard? Do you remember Wizard's first rumor? Like when it was not Wizard, where it was just like the new rider?
Yeah.
Where he was like supposed to be like a magical painter with a talking head. Do you remember that?
I remember that. He was supposed to have a weird bowling ball shaped head. And like it didn't make any sense at all.
And he had a talking hat. That's the one thing that really made me angry. I was like, oh my god, please let this not be true.
Then there was also the ninja one, which I really hope does happen at some point, because that'd be really cool if we had a ninja one that wasn't, like, Zed Cross. But,
oh, yeah, I totally forgot Z-Cross was a ninja.
Yep.
Didn't really look
He wasn't really ninja-like, but he had a bunch of weapons that were very ninja-like in general, so...
Well, we don't have a ninja rider, shh. But, yeah, so I really doubt this is true, but, I mean, to be honest, like, minus that, like, fan look of what speculate, like, they can make a better look out of it, but I think, like, as a key motif, that would be really cool.
Yeah.
Like, I'm okay with, like... I'm not okay with the key motive. I don't want a Kamen Rider that's based off of keys. But if it's like his henchman...
No, not like based off of keys, but like using keys, you know? And
yes,
then
like using keys to transform and like activate his abilities, then yes, that's good. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, because like if you like look at like it's like obviously his like he had like a circle on his chest, but like his whole look wasn't like metals, it was animals.
No,
you know?
not at all.
He used metals to transform. And then, like, Wizard, like, yeah, his head is kind of, like, slightly like a ring, but it's not
but
really
he uses, like, a...
But yeah, it's mainly, like, jewel motif. And,
yeah,
like,
he has element powers.
Yeah, elements. So, like, yeah, using keys to, obviously,
transform and activate abilities, that's really...
but, like,
I like that
idea.
idea.
Not, like, literally, like, he's
the whole motif, no.
Yeah.
Like a design of a key guy.
He's not gonna be like a giant key man, and then like all the enemies are like doors or something.
Oh, well, do you remember Kamen Rider G? Like,
the wine one.
Yeah, I think that was pretty cool. Like, he didn't look like a giant wine bottle, but he had the
exactly. He just used
he had to open a wine bottle to transform.
And he had a weird like wine cork, wine cork screw thing. sword
opener on it for his belt. That was cool.
And he had like that was also his weapon. He had a big corkscrew sword thing. It was weird.
Yeah, I think the only one where it took like the motif was Blade, but that made more sense because like their card suits.
Yeah.
That made more like a lot more sense, and I mean they were based off of legit like cards, but just like the suits.
They did add the bugs suits. For like
and of course they added the bugs, so it was like it's like a combination and it works well. So if they do keys, it's not gonna be like everything's a key. It's gonna be like keys and like some other mixed motif.
Yeah.
But anyways, like I said, that's something to look forward. And then like a Wizard movie coming out, and I think it's coming out in August. And I think we usually find out what the new Kamen Rider looks like in like June, I think, or July. I can't remember.
Oh, well, usually it doesn't. Oh, okay. I'm sorry, but usually the Kamen Rider, like the next Kamen Rider shows up in the current writer's like main. Like Forze showed up in Oz's 21 Shogun movie, and like same goes for Double. Like Oz showed up in his movie in the Memories of Fate.
Yeah.
So I mean,
no, but like they usually show like scans or leaks, because remember Wizard.
I just don't know exactly
when. Came out like in June, like before the movie came out, because they like people catch shots of the filming and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think I have, like when, like Wizard, like we saw what Wizard finally looked like. I think I have like the date on that somewhere. Let me look at. But yeah, like I think we should be. So that means we will probably know what he looks like in a couple of months.
Yeah, probably.
That's kind of trippy though, because like I'm like not. Wizard does not feel done. Like it feels. I don't know. It feels like we just got Wizard.
Go on. Yeah.
I feel like we just got Wizard, and all of a sudden it's just like. Oh.
I want This hasn't been brought up, but like Beast does not have a bike.
Yeah, he still doesn't have a bike.
Oh.
Like.
Yeah.
I don't.
Come on, Beast.
A bike of any sort, like either a Chimera bike or a Sphinx bike. Anything.
Like you just have a bicycle. Just give him something.
Like, even Birth got his own. He got like the like.
Well,
bike.
Well, no. Birth just used the vendor bike
bikes.
like everyone else did, but
Yeah,
and Axel could transform in a bike, so that was. But no, Teruri had his own bike. It was like
Yeah, he had his own
Yeah,
bike.
he had.
Diablosa.
Yeah, the
It was Diablosa or
Yeah.
something like that.
the bike is
I
really cool looking, by the
There
way.
was like
Yeah.
one writer who didn't legit have a bike, and I think that was the end.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
no.
end didn't have a bike either.
Oh.
That was one thing. But like, that was pretty much it. Everyone else had a bike.
Oh, I guess like well, maybe not Ryuki because like when they went into this stupid world thing, they kind of had used those bike.
Yeah, they had the really awful looking bikes, but
Yeah, those
those
awful
technically
bikes.
counted.
Yeah. So I think it was just the end and Beast so far. That's kind of weird.
But like, speaking of weird things regarding bikes, and I'm sorry that we're just kind of going off on every tangent in the universe
Yeah,
right now, but like, the weird thing, for me, I feel, is that, pretty much every other rider in, Battle Ride War has a bike.
Yeah. I'm worried
Except
about
for,
Beast now.
but like, Beast doesn't have one, but also neither does
There's the-
Forze. For some reason, he doesn't
What?
use the his bike in it. He only uses
They
rocket.
have to put it. Okay, well, he could use his rocket, but they have to put like machine. Was it machine Mazlinger?
The the missile, whatever. I'm not good at pronouncing things.
I know what it is. Yeah. Well, we know his rocket bike basically.
Yeah.
And like, if the rider has a bike, I feel like it should be included. But I mean, I guess it could work with him riding around, like flying around with his rocket if he needs transportation.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
but that's weird because Forze literally has his own bike. Like
Yeah, he
It's-
does,
And he
but
has
like,
used it quite a few times.
but he isn't using it in that game for some reason.
that's
And I
kinda
don't
odd.
know
I haven't
why.
seen any
Are
footage
you
of it.
sure? Like it
Like,
literally it's not in the game. Like,
So
you-
far, we haven't
footage of
seen
it.
any footage of it. Every time that we've seen Forze where
Both in
he
the
should have
opening
been
and the
using his,
gameplay,
yeah.
It's just his rocket.
Every
And for
time we've
Beast,
seen
he's
him,
flying around in his Falco mantle, but like,
yeah.
I want Beast to have his own bike.
Oh.
Maybe he'll have a bike by the end. I don't
I'm
know.
sorry.
Maybe Golem will make him a
yeah.
bike.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just realized something. Is it like you know how we were talking about like Wizard Infinity and then the Emperor Kiva and Kingform Blade being royalty?
Yeah.
Does Beast count as like Hyper Beast because isn't his head a pharaoh head?
Well, he
It's a Sphinx,
might
right?
count
And the
as
Sphinx
a
is like a. What does the Sphinx?
Does that count?
Sphinx represent? It represents like a lion and a pharaoh.
I don't know.
In a sense, a Sphinx is a chimera because it's two animals
Okay.
put together, a man and a human. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
a man and human, a man and a lion.
Yeah, it's basically a chimera then, yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it would really count as a royalty-like form, but
If anything,
it's
I
possible.
feel it's more like Western. He's like a cowboy.
A little
Even though
bit.
It's
yeah, well, the
Yeah.
tassels.
the
Well, then,
tassels and
like
it-
you can quickly use that for Super One, and
Oh,
Super One's
yeah.
not a cowboy.
Thank you.
But, I'm really not sure if it would count.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking because I was like, isn't like the pharaoh? Because I mean, like if you look at a sphinx, like it doesn't have the like it has the headdress thing, but like obviously you don't see like a cover of the sphinx is like a fleshy, like or sand color. And usually like when you see like the pharaoh headdresses, they're like blue and gold or yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I was a little like,
I still think I'm gonna go with the whole Western cowboy thing because, I mean, also in this theme, it's kind of Westernish in a way. If you hear
Yeah.
the like,
Wait, what's Western
You-
besides
the
the
whistle.
tassels?
he has a gun and he has like a manner
Yeah,
of
that's
shooting
true,
in like
yeah, he does
a
have a
kind of
gun.
gunman way.
He
Yeah,
does
that's
kind
so
of...
bizarre. It's literally Egyptian and cowboy.
It's
kind
a
of.
very odd mixture of all this
You know what?
kind
I
of
just
themes.
realized something that could also
Hmm?
mean because it's a chimera when you put two things that don't belong.
Oh,
Oh, damn it.
oh man, that's great. That's great.
Ugh.
Oh my god! I figured it out.
Well, I keep you guys around for a reason. Last episode, Eric figured out what,
The blue rings do.
well, no, we were talking about what the, whole Phantom, the, Spricket from last time, what his whole deal was.
I remember I wasn't in that podcast because
He was
you
like
guys, Eric took over from me that day.
He was supposed to have
like a guarding fairy, and the security guard is a security guard.
Yeah, we figured that, like, Eric figured that all out, and Tay now figures out the whole deal with
Beast hyperform.
And being a chimera on itself and everything.
Cowboy and Sphinx, that's great.
You guys figured out everything for me. That's why I keep you guys around.
I'm sorry, what did Eric figure out on the Beast episode? I didn't hear it.
Okay, so last episode, Spricket, the Guardian, like Spricket is supposed to be based off of a Guardian fairy of Cornish lore and everything.
What is that? Was that is that the Phantom?
Yeah, that was last week's.
Okay.
Well,
with the
the
shield
last
and
things.
and the sword. Yeah.
And Eric figured out that because he was a Guardian in lore, and now he's a security guard, in this kind of thing, he figured out that was the whole deal with him.
That's pretty clever. No, that's so funny and it makes sense.
See, I was actually thinking of that, Zach. Zach. I was thinking about the blue ring and how, like, they deal with, like, transportation.
Yeah.
Like time, you travel through time, and then you fall down a hole into the layer that's under you.
Yeah, that was another thing that we figured out.
That's what I thought you were talking about. And
well, that was another thing.
But that's a hypothesis. I don't know if that's going to be true for all blue rings, you know?
Yeah.
So what about blue rings and the hole? What?
Just watch the last episode. We talked about the whole thing.
I watched the last episode. I'm just a little confused.
We're just talking about the light blue rings and, like, how, do you remember how Wizard used the fall ring? The ring that, like, made a hole appear?
Yeah. I think,
So in the movie, he uses the time ring, right? And he can travel through time with that.
We kind of decided that the light blue rings, because they were both the same color, might have something to do with travel in some way.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That's my guess at it.
Because isn't, like, the escape ring or something the white one? The white wizard uses?
Well, you mean teleport?
Yeah, teleport. Isn't that one blue, too?
No, that one's...
No, it's purple.
It's
purple,
his normal purple color and everything.
Actually, is it purple?
Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah, I thought it was blue.
I mean, if it's purple, then that's kind of relating to Wise Man, because he's like a white and purplish. I'm not going to confirm anything, because I don't know.
But then again, we were always, like, deducting or suspecting the white wizard to be bad. Like, I don't know. We could be completely wrong, but it's just like signs point to yes.
Everything keeps on stacking up against him.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? To be honest, it might be the cause, because remember, this is a kid show, and I think they're like, kids don't think this is gonna happen, and they don't expect, like, grown adults to watch a show and be like, we know.
But you guys, I think that we've covered just about everything that we can.
Yep. Shit, I wanted to say one more thing, but I'm not going to.
Okay, but I think that will wrap up this episode of the Kamen Rider Spirit podcast. This one was extra long for a lot of reasons, but I think that's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
It could be like called we talk about Infinity Form, but go on and talk about random shit too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you guys have any questions for us, have any suggestions for the podcast, or have anything that you would like us to talk about in the next episode, send it to our Tumblr. I'll have the link in the description of basically everywhere this will be at. And also, just kind of send us anything that you think would be interesting at all. And I think that will do it for this episode. Thank you all for listening to us ramble about a bunch of shit for hours.
Hey, Zach.
Yes.
Are we gonna, like, talk about the secret Battle Ride War thing, or?
Right. Before we go, we have one big announcement, I guess. Me and Eric and Tay also
Yep.
are going to be trying to make a Kamen Rider Battle Ride War playthrough happen on the YouTube channel pretty soon, actually. We aren't totally sure if it will work, but we will keep you updated on the progress of that whole thing happening.
Yes.
So get excited, maybe. So that's kind of the whole deal until we get a better idea of how things will be working out.
Yeah.
So, that'll actually do it for the whole episode.
Finally, we're ending this thing.
Thank you all for listening, and I hope that you have a good day. Goodbye.
All right,
Goodbye.
bye.